But if you give Ghost Senna, you've also as good as lost, right?
Yeah, straight
like
up.
if you don't ban a couple of just like straight up power picks, like the Seraphine, for example, you also lose. And this is the problem with Damwon Kia when they're looking on form like they are today. It doesn't matter what you do, in the end you just kind of lose. And that is something that we've seen be kind of counteracted by literally two teams. And one was Gen.G on impeccable form, right? And we know Gen.G, when they're really good, they look amazing. This is something that they've always done. This is something that the talent of that roster...
Something that happened yesterday, you know? They throw the first game against KT, and then we're like, oh no, what has happened? And then they come back and they absolutely obliterate them. And as Seraphine will be banned, woohoo!
Okay, yay, happy about that. I know as DRX you also banned the Hecarim, and then you're like, okay, you know, that's fine. We're okay with that. We can live with this.
And it was Graves and Tristana that were banned from DRX in game number 1. So I think that they're two bans that you might be okay with letting through, especially when you get a couple of picks in the next round, as Renekton will actually be banned this time.
See a Graves ban here instead of a Hecarim ban. Hold me back, Atlas.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's the problem, right? Because I say that, but then think about the prospect of playing into the best jungler in the world championship winning Graves.
Well,
and that's the call to go for. This is the easiest B1 Hecarim I've seen in my entire life. And this is the problem, right? Like, I think that you can justifiably criticize what DRX is doing here by allowing Damwon Kia to go for the Hecarim again. But I ask of you, do you genuinely think that giving the Canyon his like trademark pick, will that end better?
And also, do they actually first pick the Graves if it's left up? I don't even think so.
No, I still think that banning Hecarim is correct. I think the Graves, even though Canyon is insane on the champion, is not as strong. I'm just trying to, this is the reasoning that I imagine DRX have. I like this because I could see Damwon Kia still pick the Kai'Sa into here just because it's such a comfort pick for Ghost, who had a, he had a great PvE game. He was getting creepies. He was taking a leisurely walk, and then at the end of the game he pressed Killer Instinct 3 times, and that was basically the extent of it. As
is he going to do it again? Blind pick Zilean is that's bold.
No,
that is definitely
grinning.
Bold.
He's
and yes, I don't
it.
think it's going to happen. You're exactly right. Ghost's going to try his hand at the Xayah. Could be Xayah Gragas on the bottom side of the map, but this is the beauty of the Gragas pick. It can go just about anywhere, as not likely to go into the jungle anymore. However, top or the support role is likely. We'll see whether it's going to be Beryl that's going to pick that one away. Certainly makes a lot of sense given the fact that Rel is here, and there is the Kindred that was banned last time around and will be locked in here for Pyosik.
And my problem with the Kindred pick is that while I think that Pyosik's Kindred is really, really good,
it's Kindred into Gragas Hecarim.
That was thank you. That was the point indeed. I'm glad we're so in sync, because I was about to say, I don't like picking Kindred into two champions that can knock out one person in case of Hecarim, knock out literally your entire team as Gragas. So not great. I don't love that. I'm not very happy about it. And I also think that the Kindred is going to run into some range issues. The one upside of this, though, is that DRX hopefully pivot away from going for like a deep dive style of composition, because I say Damwon Kia hopefully does that as well. As I think we might see a Rakan ban here just to make sure that we don't see that. Although Beryl on non-tanky engaged champions is not nearly as scary as Beryl on like tanky boys, so that Gragas pick might still go that way. But with what Damwon Kia have here so far, I imagine what's going to happen is we're going to yet again get like the half of Damwon Kia just dives in forward and it's just like, good luck, Ghost, have fun, you have had a storm, like just kind of figure it out yourself. Because honestly, if you look at how Ghost had been playing that Kai'Sa every single time he's played it, and in the last game it was super obvious, it's played more like a side lane / mid lane pick that just comes in for like the assassination, right? It's not a straight up front to back team fight. And I think honestly Damwon Kia might play the Xayah exactly the same way. Just like, you have self peel. Have fun, bro. We're gonna kill the backline. We have Canyon. He's too good. Like we're just gonna leave it at that.
This Aurelia and now the Orianna ban to come through here just to make sure that Solka doesn't have that comfort that he's looking for. I like the Azir ban because that's another thing that would completely ruin Pyosik's day.
That's gonna be a nah, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. But Fiora is another option, I guess. Picking Fiora into Khan, that is... Like, we're talking about bold picks. This is something that Khan has carried on, like, almost his entire career. So maybe just a bit of a shout out there to Khan before the Syndra was very comfortably locked in. It is a pick away from Showmaker, though, who will have to, you know, dig deep for this this next pick. We'll see what he is going to go for, as Victor would be not exactly the most exciting, but certainly gives Damwon Kia a pretty powerful team fighting composition.
Yeah, because I love this, because now what you do is Damwon Kia, even though the hacker aim, like, he...
Okay.
I was just about to say, with the Victor, you know, you can kite back nicely, you have big race advantages, you have a really good front line, you're happy, you're flourishing, you're in the position that you want to be, and you're just kind of going for it, and then instead, I guess Showmaker wants to have some more fun, because I saw what happened, and there is the inevitable Gnar pick that was kind of lampshaded towards with the Irelia coming in. Maybe Camille pickup here from DRX. Maybe they want to go for the Jace. There's a couple of picks that we've seen, yeah, into the Gnar as well. This is good for consistency.
Not a great lane.
No, it's not. It's not very fun. But you know, you can go for it. This is it's a Zillion, yeah,
love
baby.
It. Absolutely love it. Silas going to be locked in here. It's good into the Gnar as well. Getting a Gnar ultimate that doesn't require you to hit Mega Gnar is pretty freaking cool. Plus Onslaught of Shadows. There are so many ultimates that are actually ludicrously good. In fact, every single ult is worth stealing. The hijack is going to be off the chain, no pun intended, for the Silas in this one. I do really like it from Kingen. Kingen has been one of the strong points of DRX, and now is a game where we're going to be relying on him to really make everything work. It also gives them a beautiful damage profile as well. And even if the laning phase isn't the most comfy into a Gnar, because Gnar does just harass a lot onto these melee champions, the Kingslayer will help keep him safe, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to go.
It's DRX with another hard-to-execute kind of comp where listen, I love the Silas, right? And I think that the idea behind the comp is nice, but you're playing it into Zillion, a Gragas, and a Xayah. I just don't think it's going to work, right? Like, literally, your entire goal as DRX is you jump in and you assassinate someone, right? You have insane amounts of burst. Like, that's the strong point of your composition. You go in, and I guess maybe Kingen plays the Silas well enough that he can actually provide, like, different roles through that pick. And I guess, you know, at least you can now also knock people out of your Lamp's Respite. Like, that's something.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I think that DRX basically here is like win your lane and win them really hard and then snowball from there, or you're just kind of not making it through. Because I think that if you go into the composition of Damwon Kia on even footing, where they can choose to initiate and be completely fine, right? Like, you will not get a lot of Lamp's Respite value, presumably, with Beryl playing the Gragas, and they will find engages because we've seen what Kenyan does.
I mean, there is a lot of incentive to not throw down the Lamp's Respite. I mean, there's the barrel, there's the Gnar, there's the Onslaught of Shadows from Canyon. Oh, it's just so much.
There's so much, and then the problem arises that with this composition, Damwon Kia don't need to go in. They can choose to if they want to, which presumably they will because they're Damwon Kia. They don't have time. They don't have time for funny business.
I mean, maybe they have more time because Zillion's on the map. See, you like to get the bad puns out early.
You keep catching me off guard. The chain pun just now as well. I feel like you know, this is putting a strain on me, Atlas. I need to laugh at this. You know, I need to like act like it's funny when it's not.
You don't have to. Come on,
mate.
It's
fine.
Man. This is absolutely fine. Okay, so we do need to talk about this because last time the Zillion I felt was a pretty cool pick, just because Seraphine's laning phase is a lot more comfortable to deal with. She's more about scaling. Syndra, a very, very different situation. As Beck is going to jump off the horse and wander very slowly into this lane. And we'll see how things are going to go for both Damwon Kia and for DRX. Because, of course, Tristana can be pretty volatile in the early game. And Ghost might find it a little bit more difficult to just, you know, no rush 20 this one. Or no rush 30, which is closer to how it really went. As this is how we expect things to go. Showmaker getting bullied a little bit here in this lane so far.
Interesting choice here from Kanan to go for Phase Rush. Phase Rush, I think, is a rune that has been like on the upswing. Do not forget that on the hack rate it was not taken for the longest time. It was always Conqueror, and recently people found out, oh wait, actually it's super busted on him. Because often, especially in range matchup, you'd imagine that the Silas goes for something like the Fleet Footwork, which, if I remember correct, I'm 99% sure it's on 11.6, but it might have already been nerfed on 11.5. And if that's the case, that's why Kingen goes for the Phase Rush here. And also, you know, if you ever get on top of the Nard, then you can actually stay on top of him, which is great.
Yeah. Pioshik,
yeah,
pretty good win rate here on his namesake, but only 7-2 so far. Hasn't played it nearly as much as you'd expect, you know, the Kindred one trick of old to be playing. Only 9 games, but oh, he has the best ward. I remember that spooky ward. That's been my go-to for the longest time. Shout out to Pioshik there. As now Khan's in trouble. For level 3 gank to come out here immediately, the flash is going to be used. I think Khan should be safe, but with flash down already, that is very dangerous times, as Pioshik was trying to set the mark onto the Gnar, but not quite able to get that in time either, but no kills, so no worries.
And this actually does add a lot of pressure. This is something that we've seen a lot in the Gnar matchup, where also against something like a Camille, Gnar without flash is much more susceptible to level 6 all-ins. You already pointed out, Kingen will get just a non-conditional Mega Gnar ultimate, which that's pretty good. You know, that is kind of what you're looking for. It provides you with a lot of threat that the mini Gnar really has to respect. And oh, I love this big wave stack teleport used.
Yep, Khan actually coming on down here, doesn't have a ward that he can put down, but Pioshik's going to come out of that brush very quickly. Teleport immediately comes in from Showmaker, and that is going to save Khan for now, but it does give up a lot of pressure in that mid lane. As you can see, Stalker immediately teleports in and wastes no time crashing this wave into that turret.
The one upside for Showmaker is he's Zillion, he can speed himself up to the lane, and that's a cannon wave, right?
Yeah,
so
true.
He actually will lose some CS, but it will be minimal compared to what it would have been in a normal wave. So that's super well done by Damwon. Really nice defensive play where we see them. Khan stays alive, you know. Showmaker, yes, he uses teleport, but he's not looking to do anything in that lane besides farm anyway. And minimal amount of sacrifice being made. So as a whole, they do lose a lot of vision, which Shulk used as prior to secure more of that in the bot side, which might set up for a subsequential Drake. And like I said, I think DRX, they're the ones who need to snowball this game. I want to see maybe 2v2 players. I want to see some aggression.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think this is going to be a
This
really
is Rel
rough
Trist
one.
as well. Where is the rocket jump in? It's they're level 4 already. That should have gone down at level 3, at least. It doesn't actually happen. Khan goes back yet again, collects himself a Ruby Crystal. Looking for that Stride Breaker as soon as possible. Have to see what Kingen's going to put together. Expecting a Proto Belt, but certainly a few options there for the Silas.
I think it will be Everfrost.
Yeah,
because Everfrost at the moment is...
just broken?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I think the Proto Belt, if Everfrost wasn't broken, is a really nice option as well, for the obvious reasons, right? You like the dash, you like the passive it gives you, you like the health.
Yep.
It's just all around a really nice item to have, some extra positioning, but...
With all the displacement on the side of Damwon, I think Proto Belt does have a little bit of extra value, but Everfrost is just bustos.
I think that's the main issue, yeah.
Hard to justify building anything else, as now Becker and Bao taking a lot of damage there. That's actually a really, really nice Blade Caller there from Ghost to make sure that he gets all that down, as Canyon is just taking down this Cloud Drake. Just want to shout out, by the way, no Cloud Souls so far today. I'm being a very good boy.
The benevolent to us.
I do need to say as well that it's Caster Jun that's casting today. Normally it would be Sunke on the Sunday, but unfortunately he's away for personal reasons. But maybe it was Sunke's fault, the Cloud Souls.
It could be, but
because
we're
every
still
day
gonna be
was
blaming
me.
you. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Don't try to. Well, I don't know what you're doing, but like, it's not working. No. We're not.
I have the right to defend myself, even if it's never actually going to work. Okay.
I mean, you can try, but like,
That's
do you
what I
really
mean,
want to?
I mean, I want
Is
to.
that the legacy you want to leave for yourself?
Cloud Souls? Absolutely not. It's not my legacy. I've actually had a few curses so far. Caster Jun actually hates me or hated me for a long time because every time I was at the OGN studio, the Soli Stadium, I would get the longest days, and Achilles was always like the short day boy. So I disappointed Caster Jun for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so it went from that curse to the Cloud Soul curse. I don't even know which one's the bad one, actually. I think Cloud Soul's maybe worse.
I'd say so, yeah.
Because I sometimes like the long series, right?
Exactly. Especially when it's, you know, really high-level League of Legends, which we've had great free-game series this split. We've also had some Fiestas, but, you know, that's you don't escape those no matter what region you're in. they take in different forms. And what I like about the LCK is that our Fiestas just mean that there's not a lot happening, which gives you and me the time to talk. Or you know, or Veldus and Wolf for you, and any conceivable combination, really.
Yep, we have all of them. As Kenyon's going to start off this blue buff. Becker's just going to trot his way out here. Of course, this is, you know, Becker's still learning how to ride a horse, you know, hasn't quite got to gallop yet, and Kenyon definitely galloping.
Atlas, like, Damwon Kia has a Zillion into Syndra, and has a Xayah into Rel or Rel Tristana, and they're having Prio in every lane.
I don't know how Showmaker has priority. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's the easiest calculation, right? You look at a lane that Zillion's in. If he's down by less than 10, even 15 CS, it's a win.
Listen, I know why. It's because Sorka knows what Kane is playing, and Sorka sees what. No, but like I'm not even joking.
And yeah, Syndra doesn't have a lot of answers to the horse, right? No. You got one scat of the week, but then yeah, there's a lot of gap close from Canyon. As they are going to start off Shelly, DRX a little bit late in here as Kingin going to run away as Pyosik dashes on forward. Not quite sure who managed to pick that one up as Lambs was spied. Pyosik, can he actually stay in it is the question. He is going to get stunned. Oh no, Showmaker doesn't actually grab the last remaining bomb. But Canyon, he's alive for so long. Showmaker makes sure that he comes back yet again, and now Kingin getting chased out. And I'm sorry, DRX fans, this looks like it could even be the beginning of the end as Beryl gets the flash out of Solka, but he ain't done yet. He has the flash for himself, and Showmaker, cool guys don't look at explosions, quite literally, as Solka's sent to the death realm.
Remember how I said that DRX need to find an early game lead?
Yeah, did Damwon Kia need to find an early game lead as well? Because they're doing pretty well.
They didn't need to, but they got it anyway. And that's kind of a problem. And here we also see like the concept behind the DRX comp, right? I think that trying to go in here is a bit presumptuous, but they're actually allowed to because Beryl, while he splits up that fight, the lack of that ultimate means that Lamb's Spite actually does get a lot of value. And Kingin, I think, plays this really well as you possibly could, but Pyosik is already dead.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why Beryl gets away with using the barrel like that, because like even though he doesn't deny the Lamp's Spite value, he understands that it doesn't really matter if we can just like zone the rest of the team away and then pick them off one by one, which is exactly what happened. And I think that DRX, no matter what the game state will be, like they'll have a wombo combo where like King can steal, again, name an ultimate, and, and combine it with Veka, and like it's possible, but against another team, I would entertain the notion that that is an actual thing that can happen.
I want to talk as well, just quickly, about the fact that Becca just hit level 6, because it's once again one of these things where Beryl was gifted the experience from Showmaker and allows the cask to be in that fight when there's no Magnet Storm available.
Is this going to be like a Janna situation where we find out like after a really long time that like global movement speed, global XP, I guess it's not truly global, you know what I mean.
It used to be global, not so much anymore.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like that these type of passives are just
Busto.
And then you'd say, yeah, but Zillion, you know, like his laning isn't super good and he shouldn't be okay. And then enter Showmaker and also enter Canyon on Hackerim, which honestly, I think that's the main reason why like Sorka is just under his turret every single time. And like it's easy to look at this and go like, oh, Sorka, what are you doing? But may I remind you, again, this is Canyon on Hackerim. Like, I think that it was very justifiable that Showmaker got the MVP last game. I think it was very much him and Canyon. We saw that in the votes as well, right? But like, this is someone who like, if you get ever double bombed or if you ever step away from your turret, you're just dead, 100%. Like, you don't get to play the game, and I don't envy anyone playing against Damwon Kia, because you know that if those openings are there, they will use them 100%. Every time, you know, you're in a game, I mean, you and I will be very familiar, and everyone at home will be familiar with this as well. You're like, okay, I'm going to make this play, and then if the jungler is there, you know, I got to take this risk. And you make the play, and then the jungler kills you. Canyon is always that jungler.
It's actually kind of cool, but Canyon does make it here, but the mark does go over to Pyosik, but now Khan's looking for him. Mega Gnar going to be available, and Pyosik straight into the wall. See you later, my friend. No Lamb's Respite available for you as Kingin. He has the Gnar ulti, and Canyon says, well, maybe I don't want to go for it just yet. Not going to die of any turrets, but that's a beautiful pick and great punish there for Pyosik, because they knew that he was going for that mark, and they punish immediately.
Remember the thing I said about Kane always being the jungler that's there when you make the play? Pyosik literally immediately getting that. Can't go through the Lamp's Spite there, of course, because Khan is there. Khan just throws you out of it and then you still die. So you need to get greedy. Hope you don't get 100 to 0'd. But you do get 100-0, and this is...
Yeah, Solka can't get to this because he immediately gets stunned and bombed, and there's a Gragas now, and this is 3 plates just hand-delivered over to Showmaker.
We said this in the break, we're like, okay, so Damwon, the first game was fun, this next one is going to be like 25 minutes.
Yeah, that was our prediction. Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty confident that is actually what's going to happen, and like I said, I think that if you ult hit early, Khan just throws you the other way, right? He throws you out of the ultimate, Canyon knocks you away.
Onslaught of Shadows was there as well, so Canyon immediately is over the wall, even if Pyosik had flash available, but he didn't. Can't actually jump that wall.
Works.
It's it's a bit of a disaster.
Listen, I think that the Damwon give themselves a really big draft edge here. I also think that with how these two teams are playing, DRX are showing yet again that their strongest asset, which is, I think, their
wrist injury. A wrist injury seems to be their strongest asset at the moment.
No.
Showmaker one lane is Dillian into Syndra.
Listen,
that's silly. That should never happen.
Listen, I know that you're not the biggest DRX fan, but I feel like this team, that their strongest asset is the ability for them to find tempo swings later in the game and find openings that no other team can. But the problem is they're playing against literally the best team in the world that does everything they do but better.
I think that actually DRX's strength is punishing mistakes.
Yeah.
And Damwon strength is not making mistakes.
And
it's actually really rough.
And punishing the mistakes that you make even better, right? Like, legitimately, I think it's... we've seen this in the LCK a couple of times. I think Liv Sandbox and Gen G are a good example of this, where Liv Sandbox is basically slightly worse Gen G, right? If they play through Rascal and Clid, where you have like the Renekton Nidalee and then Croco and Summit try to do that as well, but like the team isn't as well rounded. I feel like DRX and Damwon it's a similar situation. We have the weird off-meta picks, right? We have the starters coming out of nowhere. We have obviously DRX that has picked a lot of crazy stuff. Damwon is also not a stranger to that. And the tempo swings. The problem is that outside of like those things, Damwon is just better at literally everything else.
Well, Canyon is going to come forward and pick up Solka here. Unleash Power. Oh, that Scat of the Week was fantastic because we got another fight on the bottom side of the map. Beryl looking for Bao here as Ghost, fighting Becker as best he can. That Attract Repel was fantastic. As Bao now just standing and delivering. Ghost flashes with the Feather Storm, just picks up the kill on the Tristana. Great body slam here as Becker trying to run away, but it's a double kill. Ghost getting online way earlier. That's half the time it took for him to get online last game. And he's already doing it with the double kill on the bottom side of the map. Canyon, yeah, he's got a couple of bombs. He's got an ulti. He was never dying there. And Pyosik, no opportunity to even land Respiders. Yeah, Solka just tries to take some shellfish into the mid lane and says, thank you very much, Tips Fedora. Does good old Canyon and will take away the Rift Scuttler there.
So about Pokemon.
Yeah, they're remaking my favorite generation, which is super cool. I absolutely can't wait. I'm not quite sure about this sandbox Pokemon that came out. I didn't even quite really understand in the direct what it was going to be about.
No, so I hope it will be good, but like I'm skeptical until I've actually seen it, because I feel like trying to be Breath of the Wild is a great idea, but actually doing it well is something else entirely.
And the starter Pokemon are so strange as well. What is it, like Cyndaquil and then like a bunch of others? I find it so strange that they picked the 1 weak fire starter to put in this like
maybe it's better
cool game.
Maybe it's better.
Yeah, they might have buffed Typhlosion or something like that. As we're going to get this replay here of the bottom side of the map. Damwon just managing to turn this. The Attract Repel was good, but as it turns out, not quite good enough as Ghost with the flash. It's a bit of a set play, but it works so well.
And this is yet again Damwon doing stuff that they shouldn't be allowed to. The Tristana and the Rel are undoubtedly the stronger 2v2, right? And like, yes, at a later game scenario, it might kind of shift around, but this game is, and that's why we jokingly start talking about different topics. But this is not a draft that you can come back with.
Yeah. And Pyosik, does manage to get over the wall, but he's stunned. Everfrost is pretty good. And let's see what he can actually get done here. Just smacked into the wall. Goodbye. And now Becca's trying to run. Bao's trying to run. Everyone's they're like split up. They can't kill us both if we're going opposite directions. And easily shut down. And I'm sorry for not getting too crazy about that one, but it's now 9-0.
Listen,
Damwon have a 7,000 gold lead with a composition that scales better than their opposition.
This might be a perfect game if they choose to do so. An actual perfect game.
Yeah.
I guess they're losing a turret on top side now, so I guess it won't be. No, actually,
It's very healthy.
It's pretty
as you
healthy.
can
Never,
see.
never mind. Honestly, yeah, Damwon Kia are an incredible team, and this might be the final play that we see here, trying to set it up.
Oh, Kingen does have knowledge of where everyone is, but now he's trying to get in there, steals away a Featherstorm, but just gets gnawed into the wall. The wallop's great as well, as, yep, Kingen's going to be dead, as is Pyoshik as well. Solka's just running for the hills, gets hit by a house, and the flash, and the wallop not going to quite be enough there from Khan. Bao wasn't even in the fight, as now Showmaker need to be a little bit careful, misses the double bomb, does have the ulti on himself though, so of course was never going to die. Now Becca looking for his engage opportunity, doesn't have it. And Damwon Kia just walk away and they get themselves a Teemo's thumbs up from Showmaker.
I'm really happy you and I get to talk about, you know, Pokemon amongst other things, but you know what happened the other day?
What happened the other day?
Valdez made a movie reference.
I know. No, he does do that sometimes.
Yeah,
There
I was
some
actually,
movies
I
that
was
he's
pretty
watched.
shocked. You know, as a long-time LCK watcher, I was like, well, I was told this never happens.
No. It's you know, he has some that he enjoys, but I think that, you know, Valdez is a bit of a purist, so just doesn't have, you know, a lot of breadth. But you know, once you do find that one thing, he knows a lot about it. As yep, we're gonna have a look at this one more time. As Pyoshik does get over the wall here, but Everfrost stun, has to use the flash, and now wants to get back to his team, but surrounded by 5 people with no ulti.
There
is not going to do anything there.
No, and at this point, like we've seen games like this before from Damwon Kia, where they find an early lead. They are just not, you can't stop them. Like, there's just nothing you can do. I mean, it's a cute idea here from Kingen, but the rest of his team isn't there. You're missing, you're going in 4 versus 5 effectively. I guess Canyon is there, but if he really wanted to, he could be. Into a choke point, into a Gnar, right? They know you're there. It's just... There's nothing you do as DRX that looks good. That's kind of the crux of the issue, because this is one of those games where it's just... it's Damwon Kia, they had fun in the first game, and then, you know, they got the mess like, guys, listen...
yeah, Showmaker's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
This is the classic Showmaker, 2 games, but 2 quick games is what he wants, so he was probably disappointed with the last one. Khan's done the most damage so far, as you can see, as Beryl is second, which is pretty nutty. All right, nice work, Mr. Gragas. As Kingen, he's jumping on in here. He's got himself an Onslaught of Shadows, definitely a valuable ultimate, but he's going to need to have like about 3 in the chamber if they're going to take anything back here. As Everfrost used onto Khan, who seems immune to damage, and now Kingen caught in transition. He's going to be charged back as now Showmaker throws a bomb on him. Onslaught of Shadows used defensively there, and the bomb explodes for so much damage. Damn. Yep, feels like Showmaker's definitely online.
You know what the worst part about this is? This gives you another thing you want to ban against Damwon Kia, because Cillian is just so frustrating to play against. Like, coming into this series, you and I were like, I'm kind of expecting Damwon Kia not to show anything. Damwon Kia go completely the other way, we're like, we're just going to show another trick in our toolbox, and now you also have to deal with that. Haha, good luck, everyone.
Yep.
Now we have a pocket pick Zillion that we can pick out.
And you actually, we had some of the mic checks actually translated during the break as well, and Showmaker's just like, Zillion's so much fun. He probably just picked this because last game he had such a good time, and he wants to continue having a good time. I don't know whether that's necessarily a strategic way of doing it, as yeah, ulting a Zillion, good luck, my friend. Solka's just dead. Ghost should be able to grab this one pretty easily, and he does so, as there's a bit of a party cask from Kingen. Unfortunate there, as Khan does have Mega Gnar, so he's going to be all right here, as Bao did do a lot of damage to him, but yeah, perfect game. Still on the table, as you can see. 0 kills, 0 turrets. I'm not even sure whether they got any plates, as I think Kingen got a bit of damage onto that top outer turret, but I think it was after 15 minutes. So, yeah. Showmaker just going to face check here, gets scattered, has ulti. Chrono Shift is going to definitely keep him alive, and then Ghost says goodbye, Solka.
I would say more about this, but I don't feel like I have a lot to add, because this is self-explanatory, you know? Like, you don't need to be an analyst to see what's happening here.
That cast did so little damage that I thought Beryl body slammed, but it actually got hit by it. So I need to take back the party cask. Kingen did hit someone, it just did nothing.
Yay. Yeah. That's not it. This is looking like, correct me if I'm wrong here, a shellacking.
Yes, well, I mean, they need to win theoretically in the next 3 minutes. However, with a composition like this, I think we'll give it until about 30 for the shellacking to still apply. And if it's a perfect game, I think that's yet more reason for that to be true. As now DRX, not just Pyoshik, the entire team now looking to try and challenge for the Mountain Soul. Because, if they don't stop that, there's even more no way that they're coming back. There's already no way that they're coming back, but this is a lot. And Solka's just going to get caught in no man's land and destroyed. Khan's going to pick up that kill very comfortably, and now this 4v5 is on. Oh no, Becca goes the wrong direction. Lance Respite is pretty good, but yeah, it's sort of working out for Damwon Kia more than anything else, slightly delaying a couple of very easy kills onto both of these AD carries. DRX now trying to keep their base alive, but for Kingen and Becca, it's going to be a very tough ask as Canyon runs in and out a few times, picks up, he's too fast.
Listen, Showmaker had no damage done in the fight. It was zero. It was zero damage.
Zoning, okay.
I'll have you know, he sped up Canyon and Canyon got the kill. So
exactly, there we go. I'm going to give it to him.
This is... And you might look at this and draw the conclusion that DRX is a bad team.
This is a 14,000 gold lead. 23 minutes.
And like, I think DRX definitely has the weaknesses, but Damwon Kia, they can do this to everyone. Literally everyone. We've seen this. We've seen them do this at Worlds, right? Like exactly this. And then it was even worse. We don't talk about, you know, certain games in the finals and the semis that were even worse than this, but like this team adapts so well. We saw it within game number one. We've seen it within series.
Mountain Soul, by the way, everyone. The Canyon is comfortably soloing, as Beryl has to flash out. Bao looks for the kill, but Beryl's not going to die, guys. He has that ultimate, and now, here it is. Okay, Canyon decides against it. Now Khan looking to try and get that ulti in, and he will get the Mega Gnar. Doesn't actually need it at all as Becca gets over the wall, actually able to CC the Mega Gnar so that no ulti is going to be available, but that's going to be 3 very easy kills. Solka once again having an awful time, and it's a double kill here. Ghost, of course, is not there. He's going to be taking down this inhibitor turret on the top side of the map. King and the last man standing, and this should be DRX getting the win before 25 minutes. Not a perfect game, unfortunately, because Beryl fell down in that last fight.
Guys,
we're going to be reporting him. We're going to be reporting him at the end of the game. Unfortunately, no perfect games. But it's a 15,000 gold lead, and Showmaker wants to just start the Baron as he ults himself, throws things at the Baron. Beautiful. I'm glad that Jonah Strong did show us that. The Damwon Kia, an absolute shellacking in game 2. Largely what we predicted, but damn, that was a masterclass.